everyone, it's Celeste. Welcome to my booktube channel. Okay, so I was gone from Monday until late Friday, and so my booktube-a-thon was away from home. And so today is going to be sort of a hodgepodge of my bookish ramblings for the weekend. I know it's Monday. And also my booktube-a-thon wrap-up. That's how short that's going to be. So let me start with the booktube-a-thon wrap-up. I read 2 books. Again, I was away from home, and I knew that I probably would not be able to do it like I wanted to. So, what can you do? I did bring books with me, but what I was doing was, I was getting up at like 6 in the morning, and I wasn't coming back to the hotel room until like 5. So, for all those hours, I was very much busy, and it wasn't like the kind of busy that you put away from yourself. It was a very intensive busy. I was at a teacher conference, and so I was reading throughout the day. I was reading excerpts from literature and poetry and talking about best strategies for the classroom and things like that. And that's great, but it made my brain tired. And so when I would get back to the hotel in the evening, I wouldn't really want to read. And I couldn't read during the day because I was sitting on the front row. So I couldn't be the bad student. Okay, so the first one that I read, and this takes care of the, my book with yellow on the cover, but it's Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli. Has a lot of yellow on the back. And the hardback of it's in itself is mighty yellow also. So there you go. I chose it first because it's short, and also because my one of my friends teaches it to 9th grade, and so I felt like it's good to have read something that they've read, and so whenever they talk about it, then I'll know exactly what they're talking about. So that was sort of like a double dipping. I had a personal reason for that too. It was pretty good. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Not that the star rating is that important. The issue that the writing was pretty good for young adult. The issue that I had was that I got these manic pixie dream girl vibes, and also and it could just be me, maybe. I don't know. You can tell me in the comments if it's you too. But I'm sick of these male narrators who are trying to delve into some female character. It's problematic. It bothers me. It's sort of like the precursor to mansplaining, and it rubs me the wrong way. So anyway, I liked it, but I didn't love it. But I'm glad I read it. So there's that. The other book that I read for booktube-a-thon was for the challenge of, it actually could qualify for 2 challenges. The challenge of reading a book that was recommended by someone on BookTube, because I saw this all over BookTube. I didn't really know much about this book before BookTube. And then also, loud trucks. Also, it has a movie, this is the movie cover actually, has a movie adaptation, and so it covered the challenge for reading a book and then watching the movie adaptation. So, and this one, it was a quick read for me, even though it's a fatter book. I had issues. I gave this one 3 out of 5, but I wavered between 2 and 3 because I couldn't decide, and I'm still not completely decided as to how I feel about this book. There are parts of this book where I want to say to Jesse Andrews, I see what you did there. And I appreciate that, but then there are other parts that I just, it bothered me, and I wondered, as a reader or as a writer, you look at something and you think, does the payout for whatever reason it was to include this, does the payout balance maybe the way that it's uncomfortable, the way that it's offensive? And there were some choices in here that I just don't feel like it was. And I said this on my Goodreads. So I watched the movie, and I know that there are people who hate the book and hate the movie, or like the book, like the movie, whatever. This is gonna be one of those where I'm gonna say I like the movie better than the book. The movie was more cohesive, and the ending, like the ending in the book is very anticlimactic to me, and so the movie, just the visuals helped sort of smooth over some of the really offensive, yucky parts, and some of those things that the narrator was saying and thinking that were so like awful were not totally in here in the movie. I mean, they were in here, but they weren't in the movie as much. So yeah, so, I don't know. And I don't know about, I'll probably read from Jesse Andrews again. I don't know. But I'm glad that I read it, and I can join the conversation with those who either loved it or didn't love it, because there were some parts that I just, I don't know. Maybe I could do a full review and I could talk about them specifically. Okay, so I realize that not all pages are made the same, but I calculated a page count because I talked about this before in my rambling, that I thought that a page count would be a better thing, and so the two books together equal 522 pages, so over the course of 7 days, that's roughly almost 75 pages a day, which is good because there were days when I read no pages, which is really weird for me because I normally read at least a little bit before I go to bed. It's part of my habitual going to bed process, and I didn't do that. I'm looking at my cheat sheet. I'm looking at my cheat sheet notes. Okay. So, some of you are like, oh, you're wearing glasses, and you haven't worn glasses in your other videos. Yeah, I am, loud trucks. I am blind. No, that's rude. I'm not really blind, but my eyesight is so bad to the point that I cannot function without some sort of help. And so, I have contacts that you wear for 30 days at a time, and they're supposed to be very, oxygenated so that you can wear them for so long. They still dry my eyes out, and so I gave my eyes a rest. So I've been wearing glasses for almost a week. That's Dwayne The Rock Johnson bumping the tripod. I don't know. And part of me, I feel like, I don't know, I like the glasses better. Like, I don't like the fact that they fog up and they get smudgy and they're on my face, but I feel like I look more like myself. Is that weird? I don't know. Anyway, so other things that I want to talk about, and this goes along with my booktube-a-thon wrap-up, reading through distraction. And I had planned on doing some videos where I talk about this, but there was a time when I needed silence and, like very little movement and things in the room with me when I read. That's not really the case. Motherhood has adjusted me quite a bit in more ways than one. And one of the ways that it's adjusted me is in the reading. I can, for example, my glasses are fogging up. I can sit on the couch and watch a television show on network television and read during the commercials. And I can tune those commercials out. I can read in places where there's ambient conversation and noise that's not directed at me. I can read through my children and whatever games they're playing on the Wii U, or sometimes they watch YouTube videos and I can't help but watch. Like when they're watching Good Mythical Morning, I end up watching it. I can't help myself. For example, I can also read in cars. I don't get car sick from reading. I get car sick from people who pat the gas. So, like, I've been in the car and felt car sick then. I can read in planes. I can read in trains. I sound like a Dr. Seuss book. Anyway, but what I can't read through is, I can't really read through music for some reason. I can't really read through people talking to me directly. So if I'm trying to read and you're like, hey Celeste, blah, 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 at me directly, because I'll either be able to read and not hear you, or I'll hear you and I won't be able to read. And so I can't deal with both. I think that's more of a language processing thing with my brain. But this week I've been really distracted because I wasn't in a hotel room by myself. I was with two other people, and they're friends of mine, and so of course we're having conversation, and so it's rude to just read your book and not talk to the people, and so that's another reason that I didn't get more done. I couldn't tune out that kind of distraction. And so again, I had talked about this in the book club that I attend in real life. I'm swimming in a pool of half or partially read books. And I'll talk about reading multiple, I guess I could talk about reading multiple books some other time. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, and I think this is important, especially wrapping up, finishing up Booktube-a-thon, is about reading forgiveness. I am not mad at myself. Like, the competitive part of me would love to be like, I read all these books, ha ha ha, I completed all these challenges, ha ha ha. But then, like, if not completing the challenges and not reading all those books, then I would be hard on myself. And I don't feel hard on myself because what I was doing this week that kept me from reading was worthwhile. And then also during the weekend, there were times when I could have read, but instead I went on Pokemon hunts with my daughter. So I was spending time catching a buttload of Pidgeys, and you would think, oh, that's a waste of your time, Celeste. No, not really. Because I was spending time with my daughter, and to me, that just felt more important than trying to rush through another book. I don't know. And also spending time with my husband. He's only in town every now and then, so, you know, I have to take the time when I can. The last rambling video, I ran out of time. I was going to talk about doing a book buying ban. I've decided not to. And I'm going to film an unboxing or unbagging, both, here just shortly. And here's the deal. I don't feel like I need to do a book buying ban. Like, if I have loads of unread books in my house, I'm a grown woman, and that's my business, and it makes me happy to be surrounded by these books. And sometimes what happens is I hear about the book on BookTube or a friend of mine or something, and then I have it on hand, and it's like I don't have to read it in an ebook form that I bought, you know, from my phone or on a Kindle or whatever. Also, my children are growing, and they're getting to the ages where they can read the young adult lit and some of the accessible classics that I have on the shelf, and so I enjoy it. So I'm not going to go on a book buying ban as long as I'm being financially responsible, and I am, because I shop and get good deals. That's just what I do. So, yeah. So, I mean, if you do that, if you go on a book buying ban, why? I mean, I can understand money, but if it's because you've got a stack of to be read, well, if you think about it, your stack of to be read is huge and monumental. You just don't have it sitting in the room with you. So, and I don't buy books that I don't intend to read, and I don't buy books that I don't think that I will, like, when I give a book a 1, a 2, or a 3-star rating, really, a 3-star rating doesn't mean that I hated it. It just means that I'm either ambivalent about it, or it means that I liked it a little bit, I don't really like it that much. But I don't buy books with the intention that they won't be good, although sometimes I hear that a book is not good, and I'm like, maybe I'll like it. Maybe I'll be the one person who likes it. I'll get it and see what happens, and I don't like it usually. So, anyway, that's my Booktube-a-thon 2016 wrap-up. That is my bookish rambling for this week and this weekend. I will see you guys soon. I'm catching up on videos, so if you thought, oh, she dropped off the face of the earth. No, I dropped off, like, yonder down I-10, and I was in the big city. And I didn't have Wi-Fi. That's another complaint that I have. Like, they only gave Wi-Fi if you were a rewards member, and I do my darndest to not leave home. So there's no reason for me to be a rewards member to any kind of, like, hotel establishment, because, you know, I can count on one hand the number of times I stay in a hotel, like in a span of years. So seriously, anyway, I'm a little, yes, like, ooh, she's salty. Yes, put that on the rim of the margarita. Alright, so, anyway, as I was saying, I will talk to you guys next time. Look for more videos. If you're watching this and you like it, please like it, like with the little thumbs up. And also, if you want to subscribe, and, like, I would really appreciate that. So, thank you so much. Until next time, bye.